This is
the AVP.
The AVP.
This is the AVP.
The AVP is the world's preeminent professional beach volleyball tour.
Big swing, and there's the stop.
The AVP is passion,
The best beach volleyball players in the world.
hot bodies,
The best pro beach volleyball tour in the world.
hot athletes.
Miami's South Beach is the sun-drenched site of the first stop on the AVP Crocs Tour. Talented players from around the world have come to answer the new season's burning question. Will world champions Todd Rogers and Phil Dalhausser continue their run as the most dominant team on earth? Find out as the sexiest summertime sport makes its season debut right now.
This is the AVP.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the Jose Cuervo Gold Crown Series from South Beach, Miami. Are you ready? Because here we go, ladies and gentlemen. His first ever final was 2005 when he took home the Austin title, and now he is back, the little fighter out of Florida State, Nicholas Lucena, the hometown hero. Let's go, boy. Let's go, boy. And his partner, ladies and gentlemen, he grew up in Honolulu, Hawaii, went to the University of Hawaii. He has 5 open wins, one of the best blockers in the world. Sir, Sean Scott. There it is, kid. Are you ready for the #1 team in the entire world, ladies and gentlemen? He went to the University of Central Florida. He has become the most intimidating force in the entire world. Say hello to the Thin Beast, 21 open wins, Philip Dalhausser. And his partner, we call him the professor out of UC Santa Barbara, 33 open wins, the 2006 MVP of the AVP, Todd Rogers. Raji, get it done. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? No better way to kick off the year than throwing it to the second member of our broadcast team, the greatest of all time, 3-time gold medalist, Coach
Thanks, Skeeter. It's going to be a huge year, this 2008 year. #1, because the Olympics are coming, and Dalhausser and Rogers are a major contender to win a gold medal. #2, more important still on the AVP Tour, it's going to have its first ever playoff formula, like a March Madness, the chase for the Crocs Cup.
That's right, Karch. The top 24 teams after the regular season advance to the Crocs Cup shootout. After the Cincinnati, Santa Barbara, and San Francisco shootouts, 24 teams become 8. A week later, the world's largest qualifier in Manhattan Beach will determine seeds 9 through 16. Winner takes everything, the prestigious Crocs Cup and their share of the $1 million purse. The stage is set. Phil Dalhausser and Todd Rogers, the most dominant team in the world, the defending world champions. 21 wins in the last 2 years, taking on their former partners, Nick Lucena and Sean Scott. And it's time to start the first finals of the year. Todd Rogers to serve. Oh, right off the bat. Hey, Karch Karai, let me bring you in here. I mean, right off the bat, Nick Lucena on his old partner, right off his dome. You gotta love it.
Right in the grill. You know, there are no 2 players who know Dalhausser and Rogers better than their 2 ex-teammates.
Nick Lucena to serve. Score 1-1 on the board. All tied up. Phil Dalhausser back to serve. We call him the Thin Beast. What? Oh, Sean Scott from the left side with heavy heat, getting it done 2-1.
And, Dieter, that's been kind of the trend this whole tournament. Teams will test out Nick Lucena. He's been working out so hard this season, been so strong that they'll eventually go at Sean Scott, try to make him carry more of the offensive load.
I mean, Karch, just say what it is. I mean, Nick Lucena looks like he's been working in the fields. The guy's put on 20 pounds.
They used to call him the Greyhound. Now we got the Husky or something out there.
Buff. Right Raji, little chisel from the right side, 2-2.
And chisel it is. That's one of Todd Rogers' favorite shots. Going down the line, what the blocker needs to do is take that away if the defender cannot play for that really short line shot.
3-2 on the board. Lucena and Sean Scott.
Nick Lucena, one open win. To his credit, he won it with Phil Dalhausser, 2005 Austin.
So far, Lucena will have a little trouble with his serve, which is unusual because what got them here to this final is the great serving, especially of Lucena, putting his opponents on their heels.
Dalhausser with that tough jump serve. And here we go. Tied up at threes.
Sean Scott with the burial cross court, 4-3.
Time to Nautica.com. Navigate the match. For Phil and Todd to win this match, Dalhausser must do what he always does. Be a beast and dominate the net. And they can't go easy on their ex-partners. Don't be soft because you love them. For Lucena and Scott, Nick Lucena, fire up, play with that passion that you always do, but stay cool in the pressure situations. Sean Scott, he's technically one of the best blockers in the world. Channel that ball to your defender and use your transition game. Lucena and Scott lead 4-3. Rogers from the right side. Off the arms of Lucena. And we're all tied up.
Peter, in the tent before the match, Sean Scott, I asked him, hey, don't you know every shot Raji has? And he said, yeah, but Raji's Raji. He knows every time I block, everywhere I'm going to block. So it's going to be a real battle at the net.
Yeah, Rogers and Scott spent a lot of time together. They won 4 tournaments together. Sean with that beautiful handset. And Lucena cross court is good.
5-4, Lucena and Scott.
Now, Lucena and Scott, to get here, had to play the Tour's #2 team, Rosenthal and Gibb, in the quarterfinals of the winner's bracket. And they took it to him. Lucena with a great dig, and in transition, he puts it away. And here it is, Sean Scott with the win.
Yeah, stuck on that, Rosie's Raiders. Go to high school, get a GED.
Sean Scott referring to the loyal fans of Sean Rosenthal that follow him all over the country and have been known to make some enemies here and there.
Nicholas Lucena, like he did yesterday, blasting it down the middle for an ace serve. 6-4. Sean and Nick lead here in game number 1.
And that's the serving that's gotten Lucena and Scott into this final as a first-time team on the AVP Tour, playing great volleyball all weekend long.
6-5. Big Phil Dalhausser, 21 titles, reigning MVP of the AVP, out of University of Central Florida. Your serve.
Scott from the left side. Raji's there. Lucena has a chance.
Lucena into the net for 6-6.
Charged 2 of the world's best defenders in Lucena and Rogers.
Both defenders showing great skill there, chasing those soft shots down. That's going to be the difference, though, is you don't get many opportunities to score points on Dalhausser Rogers. When you do, you got to close the deal.
Thin Beast ready to serve, 6-6.
And Sean Scott up high on the hands for 7-6.
And Karchi, let's take a look at the replay. Nick just puts this ball right on the money for Sean.
Nick Lucena setting with that underarm, forearm pass more this year. Usually he uses his hands, but it appears that Sean Scott prefers that bump set.
Oh, great hustle by Sean. Raji makes it 7-7. Miami make a little noise. 7-7 on the board.
The 2008 AVP Miami Open is brought to you by Crocs. Play hard, live comfortably. By Bud Light. Keeps it coming. By McDonald's. I'm loving it. And as always, the AVP reminds you to vive responsibly.
Welcome back, South Beach, Miami. How we feeling out there? All tied up, 7-7. Game number 1. Here we go.
Todd Rogers back to serve.
Nicholas Lucena painting the line, 87. Karchi, you gotta like the way these guys have come out aggressive against Phil Dalhausser.
That's the way you got to do it to beat this team. It was interesting in the tent. Lucena said, you know, I'm playing with Scott because I want to get to that next level, and he's the guy who's got wins, got experience. He can get me there.
Phil Dalhausser gets those great hands out. Raji hard down the line. Nick was in the spot, unable to come up with it. 8-8 on the board.
And on those last two plays, you see an example of what great court vision both Rogers and Lucena have. They see where the block is and chip it right around there, each of them avoiding it and hitting it down the line.
Phil Dalhausser and Rogers have gone 3 a few times out here with Medell, and Sousa, Jennings, and Furbringer, Loomis and Stolfus. Scott and Lucena have just been mowing through people. Sean Scott from the left side. And Scott off speed. Raji with a dig. Dalhausser with the left hand. Karch, it's something I've seen this weekend a few times, and I think it's scaring the rest of the world as Phil is developing a left hand.
Almost a Sean Rosenthal-like left hand, but all he has to do, he is up so high, he's just got to tap it a little, and you'll see it right here. He's got so many inches on Sean Scott, who is a great jumper, but not big enough to stop that.
Dalhausser, a tennis player growing up, which is an absolute frightening thought.
And Dalhausser off the hands of Sean Scott for the point.
And so far, we're seeing the one weakness that Lucena and Scott might have is that Lucena's setting is a little inconsistent, goes a little too close to the net. You can't put it in Dalhausser's paws, and you also have to keep it the same height. Sean Scott likes a little higher set.
Dalhausser to serve, leading 10-8. And that ball goes long.
9-10, Sean Scott, 5 open wins. 4 of them with Todd Rogers, 1 on his own, the best of the beach, God of the beach in Hawaii, 2004.
Scott off the tape to Dalhausser. And the beast hard cross-court shot is good.
11-9.
And really, that's the kind of play that got Sean Scott thinking last year, you know, I think I want to play some defense. I feel like I'm outmanned by some of the bigger players that play on the AVP Tour and play internationally. And yet he's probably got the best technique as a blocker of anybody on this tour.
Rogers serving. It's a tight set.
Oh, the thin beast with the jowls, 12-9.
We say we play.
Dalhausser at 6'9", so athletic, it is scary.
Todd Rogers, San Marcos High School, UC Santa Barbara, growing up in East Beach. 33 open wins.
Scott will have a chance from the left side. Challenges the beast.
Raji got it! Phil Dalhausser, the beast, out of the net. 13-9, Miami. How do you feel?
And as we take a look at this replay, the dig by Raji, and for all you young volleyball players at home, look how Phil Dalhausser plays it out of the net. Don't panic. Play it low, put up a great set. Here it is. Look at Phil go low. The great set. Raji the touch shot, and it's all good. So we go to break. Rogers and Dalhausser leading 13-9, game number 1. The AVP is proud to introduce the Beach Girls, presented by McDonald's. Noreen, Mandy, Dominique, Brooke, and Laura will be performing all summer long on the AVP Crocs Tour.
Hi guys, it's Laura from the Beach Girls, and we're behind the scenes with AVP Beach Volleyball. I'm about to interview Casey. Can I ask one thing? What is this? When you do that behind, like to your partner?
You're letting your partner know where your defense is going to be and where you're going to set up.
But the crowd then knows your secrets.
Yeah, it kind of makes it exciting for them, huh?
I don't know what it was, like some kind of sign language. I'm like, what are they doing on their backsides? It was cool.
Yeah, we're trying to get people to focus in on the high knee.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. And we look forward to having you guys on tour with us.
Yes,
Yeah.
right. Have a great day, and you know what? Right now, I'm going to go watch the game because I'm totally addicted. Bye!
The beauty of the Beach Girls are going to be with us all summer long. Todd Rogers to serve, 13-9, game 1. Scott will have another chance. Take a look at this replay. What a great play by Nick Lucena. Eyes are on the blocker, arms out in front. You get a little lucky. Sean Scott, good.
Raji off the left arm for 14-10.
His hands were a little too far apart. He knows how Raji likes to hit that high shot off the hands of the block when it's too close of a set.
Hey, sir! Big Phil with the big beats for 15-10.
Peter Dalhausser was talking about it. That's his best serve, his favorite serve, but he notices teams starting to pinch in and cover that. So the other thing he's been working on is serving the two sidelines, kind of off-speed shots to either sideline. So we'll see if he goes to that this next play if they start pinching in.
You can barely even see it, let alone pass it. 15-10, Dalhausser and Rogers. Commanding 5-point lead. See where he goes this time. Sean Scott, great pass. There's that left hand by Dalhausser.
Raji is so amazing on defense. And you can be a great defensive player when you have Dalhausser at the net blocking and funneling that in there. But Raji now 3 or 4 great digs in a row. Really nice control on hard hit balls.
Phil again, 16-10. Whacking it off the tape. Great set by Nick. Raji's all over it.
St. John, you've been around the game a lot. Have you seen a better setter with a softer pair of hands than Phil Dalhausser?
You know, it's amazing. After watching him throughout the tournament, the ball goes up in the air and it's spinning like a top and it's off the net. And he runs up to the ball with his hands down, and you don't think he's going to set it with his hands. You don't think a normal person would. And he throws his hands up in the air and has the softest touch of anyone out here.
Thank you, St. John. Good to hear from the third member of our broadcast team, one of the greats of all time. St. John Smith will be with us all season long. Scott with a Yahtzee, but Raji's there.
Wow. Well, Dalhausser can set not only with his hands, but with that forearm pass, with the bump, and he puts Raji right up to the net after yet another hard-driven ball. I think Sean Scott would be smart to mix in some soft shots because Raji's just taking the heat and controlling it.
All Raji can do is smile.
You know, how do you think Sean feels now? He's hit his best hits, his hardest hits, and Rogers has popped him up. I mean, it's got to be so frustrating. You're right. He can't keep, if he's going to hit his best hit, it's going to get dug, then yes, he has to change it up. He has to move the ball around.
Well, you asked, how does he feel? Welcome to the club. The whole tour feels that way. Whatever doesn't get blocked by Dalhausser gets dug by Rogers. Rogers with 6 digs already. Dalhausser with no blocks yet. Actually, 1 block, but Rogers is just dominating on defense right now and always steady on his offense.
The MVP of 2007, Phil Dalhausser, serving it up. Serve is long, 18-11.
Todd Rogers was talking about it earlier. He says, you know, I give my partner the green light. He can hit it as hard as he wants to all the time. I'm the one with the responsibility of getting most of the serves in.
Raji, cut shot, good. 19-11.
So Raji and Dalhausser 2 points away from game number 1. Raji jump floats his old partner Sean Scott short. Roger reads it for the dig.
Raji down the line. Miami South Beach on your feet for game point. Every man, woman, and child. 2011. Rogers, Dalhausser.
So once again, game point for Rogers and Dalhausser. 20-12. Rogers and Dalhausser just pouring it on here at the end of game number 1. Lucena to serve. He goes for it, right at Rogers. A rare mishandled set by the Beast.
Dalhausser going to set another one with his hands that nobody else on this tour has the nerve to do, and he almost pulled it off.
And Karch, it wasn't that bad of a set
No,
either.
it wasn't. But they have such a high standard, neither guy protested the call.
14-20. And a serve by Lucena.
And that's really what Lucena and Scott are going to need to turn this match around, assuming they lose this, go on to lose this first game, is Lucena with tougher serving and with more consistent setting.
Raji down the line is it. 21-14. Rogers Dalhausser, game 1. That's it.
I'm Nick Lucena. This is my story. Yeah, I have a chip on my shoulder. I always feel like I have something to prove. As a freshman in high school, I was 5'2", 101 pounds. I met Big Phil in St. Pete Beach, and I saw him from like a mile and a half. You see his skinny little body. The ball hits the ground. Yeah, I was like, holy cow, I can't believe this happened. Let's go get some beers, celebrate, but the feeling goes away and you want to win another one. Grew up in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Huge Florida State fan. Florida State Seminoles, they probably don't know who I am. I'm a wiffle ball champion. My other buddies are unhappy going to their office jobs, and I get to hang out at the beach. I think Sean Scott and I are for sure going to win another one, and hopefully more than just one.
Florida, do you like Nick Lucena? Give him a little love out here. Get him going. He grew up playing here on the beach. Sean Scott, Phil Dalhausser, Todd Rogers. 1-0 on the board.
And if you're going to beat Rogers and Dalhausser, you have to get off to a quick start. Cannot play from behind.
All right, Nick Lucena is going to start it off. They got to keep that tough serve going, especially on that good side. Dalhausser from the left. Scott is there.
And Geeter, what happens is against this great Dalhausser-Rogers team, if you get a scoring opportunity, you feel like you have to make the perfect hit and put it away because you might not get a second chance, and that's what Lucena was trying to do there. Make the perfect contact. Just didn't clear the net.
Yeah, and Karch, you saw him all weekend do that against Loomis and against Stolfus, against Jennings and Furbringer. They just stay in the game, and then at the end, if they're close, you know, Phil makes a big block or Raji gets that dig. And you think you have to be too perfect playing against him. Oh, Nick Lucena, that's an athletic play, though, right there.
And the other thing is when you get to a final, especially Lucena hasn't been in one since 3 years ago, Manhattan, you feel like you have to do a little something extra instead of sticking with the same thing that got you to that final.
1-1 on the board. Sir Sean Scott, the newlywed.
And Dalhausser puts it away. One thing I noticed this weekend, Karch, especially when like Loomis and Stolfus were playing Dalhausser and Rogers in that third game, these guys save unbelievable serves against them by just passing it into the middle of the court. And they're both such great setters. They end up, you know, that they have no trouble shots.
Exactly. And the thing that made that last play was the perfect set by Todd Rogers on a really high spinning pass. That looks easy. It is really, really hard to take that spin off and get it right where you want it.
Because you can't serve much tougher than that.
No.
That's a great serve.
Two great serves by them both, by Lucena and Scott.
Sean Scott from the left. And Scott Yahtzees it.
Sean Scott for 2-2.
And that's a much safer set for Nick Lucena to make. Even if it's a little too far off, Sean Scott is 6'5". He jumps so high, he can still put that ball away. Better off than too close against the huge Dalhausser block.
All tied up. Nick Lucena back to serve.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miami South Beach, make a little noise. It's 3-2. Here we go. Game number 2. Women's final coming out next. Get yourself involved, and here we go.
Lucena and Scott leading 3-2 here in game number 2. Lucena's been to 2 finals with Dalhausser in 05. All tied up 3-3. Nick Lucena and Dalhausser came onto the tour together 2004 and 2005. Dalhausser then left Lucena to play with Todd Rogers in 2006, and the rest has been history. 21 titles together. Rogers with the dig. What a set by Dalhausser. Rogers down the line for 4-3 here in game number 2. There's Raji right in that angle. Look at Phil get his hands on it at 6'9". And then Raji with that patented line shot. We'll be back in just a moment. 4-3. Rogers Dalhausser game 2. Welcome back to Miami's South Beach, where they party like it's Mardi Gras year-round. The AVP's party, though, was on the beach as the top players from around the world competed for the Miami Open title. As the Bud Light tournament recap reflects, the chase for the Crocs Cup was fierce. The action was explosive, with Casey Jennings bringing some of his own verbal dynamite.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Holy
Along with partner Matt Furbinger, Jennings made it to the semifinals, but they fell to finalists Rogers and Dalhausser in 3 games. Let's take a look at 3rd through 7th. Medell and Sousa took the other 3rd spot. In 5th, Hayden Keenan, Gib Rosenthal, and in 7th, Loomis Stolfus and Carlucci and Mayer. Rogers to serve, 4-3 on the board.
That's silly.
Let's take a look at the replay. This is why Rogers is the 4-time best defensive player in the world. Look at that reaction, the open hand, and then, of course, the perfect set by Phil. And Raji cuts it for the point. 5-3, Rogers Dalhausser. Todd Rogers, 33 open wins.
Painting it down the line, Nick Lucena. Karch, one thing that's kind of nice is the weather. It's actually got a nice little breeze finally.
Well, it can't be beach volleyball unless it's at least 85, but I'm pretty nice here. I thought I was going to be roasting down on center court.
I kind of wanted to see those sweat beads from your brow, Karchi.
Soaking the shirt and everything.
Raji Alishi, 6-4.
The AVP reminds you to vive responsibly. Beautiful day here in South Beach, Miami, Florida. Stop number 1 on the AVP Crocs Tour. The world's #1 team, Dalhausser and Rogers. Phillip back to serve.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we call him the Thin Beast, Phil Dalhausser. Miami likes it.
And this is one thing Dalhausser has gotten better at. You see him wait just a hair on the block, expecting a soft shot that he can reject on a 5-1 run right now for Dalhausser-Rogers. But Dalhausser can read that so well. Sometimes he will wait and anticipate that soft shot, just like there.
Oh, the Thin Beast got it.
"6'9", 125 pounds, soaking wet. Karch, we call him the Thin Beast, and he is really the most dominating force in the entire world of volleyball.
And that is a big reason why that team is one of the favorites to win a gold medal in this summer's Beijing Olympics. He's going to put the fear in the mind and brain and heart of any hitter on the opposite side of the net, including all the great teams internationally, the Brazilian defending gold medalists.
I don't know if you've seen the new cover of the new Dig Beach Volleyball magazine, but we're going to start calling him the Sexy Beast.
Yeah, a few ladies say, wow, who is that guy? Haven't seen him out on the tour before.
Nick Lucena to serve. A little off-speed jumpy to Phil. And Phil taps it down the line. We switch sides at 9-5 and go to break. We'll be back in just a moment. Stick around. Gold Crown flashback. Take me to 1995, Boulder, Colorado. And the AVP will be back in Boulder July 4th weekend. Frohoff and Ludi's taking on Karai and Akatubby. Akatubby bombing it from the right side. Back and forth battle. Frohoff and Ludi's leading 11-9. But Ak and Karai would bounce back. Look at my broadcast partner in the pink hat delivering from off the net. And at 12-12, with time running out, Ak with the stuff, 13-12. Karai Akatubby win the gold crown.
What a performance by Scott.
Everybody in the beach volleyball world cannot wait to get back to Boulder July 4th weekend.
Oh, Phillip. Young lad at 6'9", was feasting.
13-9. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for all four athletes working hard out there for you all weekend long. In the finals, first event of the year, Sean Scott, Nick Lucena, Tom Rogers, and Phil the Thin Beast Dalhausser.
Dalhausser once again to serve.
Oh, Nicholas. On two, a little stare down, and I like it. Time to get a little feisty out here. 10-13. Karch, Nick's that kind of player. He's fiery. You know what? He's got to do whatever he's got to do to get his guys going.
Well, that's how he got his first win with Phil Dalhausser 3 years ago in Austin, and he's got to do it now.
Yep. He whacked that serve. Into the net, but he whacked it.
He was hoping for the trickler there where it hits the tape and just falls over. That's his 5th service error so far this match.
14-10.
The 2006 MVP of the AVP, Todd Rogers to serve from left to right.
Oh, fill up with the left, whizzing and turning. Karch, it always amazes me, and I'd like you to elaborate, when the players, when they get the point, but they still want to let the refs know that they were wrong.
Well, they're complaining a little about the set call. They thought, well, if you're going to call Todd Rogers near perfection, then you got to call it on the other side of the net. The other important part of that play is most normal human beings can't touch that ball, but Dalhausser gets a knuckle on it, puts it over in the corner.
Sean Scott, nicely done. 11-15 on the board.
Sean Scott, 5 open wins. Will stand on the ground and float serve, go to the net. 11-15, got to make a run now.
Oh, Raji. Raji, what he does so well, guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but he just hangs in that air, and then he can go off speed or he can hit it hard, and he makes the decision at that last split second.
And he really sees the court so well, sees the blocker and the defense. Just amazing. Just notching his 16th kill there. Teams go at him, and they cannot wear him down.
Oh, Sean Scott, 12-16 on the board. We're going to take a break.
The 2008 AVP Miami Open is brought to you by Crocs. Play hard, live comfortably. By Nautica. Shop Nautica.com. By Gatorade. Is it in you? And by Bud Light. Keeps it coming.
16-12 on the board. Game number 2, Nicholas Lucena. Get this Miami crowd going. The sun is out and it's Sunday, and this is the finals. Raji down the line. Let's go down to St. John Smith. St. John, take it away.
You know, after watching Dalhausser and Rogers throughout this match, I mean, they start out a little bit slow. Slow to them is when the other team is staying with them. But now they've really turned it on. Dalhausser putting so much pressure on these guys with his block, and then Rogers making some incredible digs. When they're playing like this, I don't know that anyone can beat them.
And you mean in the world? You mean the entire world, don't you, St. John?
Exactly right.
And is he the best player in the world right now, St. John Smith, if you had to vote today?
You're talking about the beast, right?
Yep.
He is the beast, and he is the best right now. He scares the big guys internationally, like you guys were talking about before. Sure, he's trouble for people around here, but there's a lot more big guys around the world, and he puts so much pressure on them that they don't look like the players that usually do when they're playing against him.
St. John, do you think that they're a favorite for gold in Beijing, if you had to say today?
I'd say yes, because they won the World Championships last year and all the best teams in the world were there. But remember, all these other teams are playing against their international competition way more than these guys have a chance to play, because they're supporting the tour here, winning the big money here in the United States. So if there's a disadvantage, they haven't played as much against the international teams, but they are better than the other teams.
Thanks, St. John. Great job. And they also have to definitely be the favorites for the Crocs Cup to repeat here in 2008 in Manhattan Beach, as the score is now 19-13. Raji Dalhausser just 2 points away.
We go to the Crocs Fancy Footwork play of the day. Earlier in game 2, Lucena unloads on a ball. Rogers with the dig, but look at the 6'9" Phil lay it out. Perfect set. Raji with the cut shot. (19-13). Phil and Todd leading 2 points away from the Miami title. Hard serve at Lucena.
Ladies and gentlemen, on your feet in this game, match, championship point for Phil Dalhausser and Todd Rogers. Lucena in their first tournament together here on the AVP Tour, a second place finish and a job well done all weekend. And your champions, T-Raj, number 34, sir.
Let's take a look at match point. Lucena and Phil Dalhausser. The press, the pike, got it. Lucena and Sean Scott could not get it done today against their ex-partners. Time for the Gatorade Champions interview.
All right, with our champions, happy champions, Todd Rogers and Phil Dalhausser. Todd, I'm going to start with you. What a great way to start the year. But it wasn't easy. You guys had to battle through this tournament and really find your rhythm.
Yeah, we really did. We struggled in 3 of our 5 matches. Fortunately, in the finals, we played really well. But the other ones were all 3 gamers that we just didn't have a good rhythm going, but we found it in the finals.
Phil, I see what happened throughout the tournament is teams are really serving you guys tough, but what you guys did better than everybody else was you just bettered that ball, and you always gave yourself a great hitting opportunity.
That's one of the things I worked on in the offseason, better ball control, and it shows this tournament.
Now, Raji, this field is so deep, maybe tougher than ever. This year, to repeat as that Crocs Cup champion is going to be awfully tough.
Yeah, you're right. It is going to be really tough. Every year it just seems to get deeper and deeper as new partners come along. The young guns like Phil and Nick, of course, is really coming along. I mean, as those guys get better, us old guys pick them up, and it just seems like there's 10 teams instead of 4 teams. And next year, I'm sure there'll be 15 teams. And, gosh, 3 years down the road, the whole field will just be jacked.
All right, Phil Dalhausser, Todd Rogers, a nice way to start off 2008 on the AVP Crocs Tour with their first victory.
Well, the first stop at 2008, South Beach, Miami, did not disappoint. Todd Rogers and Phil Dalhausser started it out where they left it off, with a title. It's been a phenomenal week, and stick with us all year long. Next week, we go to Dallas.